Hey y'all, it's me, Dree. So today we're starting with allowance, wisdom reversed, synchronicity reversed, authenticity. So what I'm getting here is that something has been released. I'm getting the need to control has been dropped. And that is allowing the energy surrounding this whole situation to begin moving on its own. But I'm also getting that while one side is allowing the truth to reveal itself, the other side is still operating through distorted wisdom. They are not properly integrating the lesson here. They are not heeding the signs. And because they continue to dismiss the guidance that's being placed in front of them, the pattern they're running, it continues moving toward a consequence. And at the same time, the collective is being brought further into their authenticity. Because I'm getting the collective right now, y'all are standing in what y'all know. Y'all are no longer afraid to express y'all's truth. And y'all are no longer allowing shame, fear, or the need to protect someone else's image to silence y'all's experience. So I'm gathering. This is feeling like a situation where one person continues resisting a lesson, while the collective, y'all, allow the truth to mature into its final result. Now let's get into this message, because we start with the Ace of Wands reversed, the Ten of Cups reversed, the Ten of Coins reversed, Strength, the Autumnal Equinox. So, the Ace of Wands reversed, this is telling me that there is energy left unresolved after somebody left it. I'm getting that there was a connection with the collective that already existed. And once the structure broke, all that suppressed energy began building with nowhere to go. All that energy started pushing up through the surface because it could no longer remain contained. And then this Ten of Coins reversed. This is the actual pressure point here. I'm getting there was a broken family structure that created an opening for everything that had been buried to start spilling out. But the person behind this, I'm getting, they did not understand who they were interfering with. Because the collective, y'all are coming out as strength. So I'm getting y'all know how to survive long-term conflict. Y'all do not need to overpower this situation, because y'all know how to endure it. Y'all know how to regulate yourselves within it. And y'all know how to outlast what was meant to break y'all in the first place. And I'm getting that is where this allowance oracle card comes in and becomes essential, because I'm getting the collective stop trying to force the outcome here. Y'all release the need to control how this situation unfolded, and y'all allowed the energy to move where it naturally needed to go. So while this other person was carrying distortion forward, y'all were doing the exact opposite. Y'all were allowing reality to reveal itself. And then this autumnal equinox comes in and says that the collective's vision, that is finally approaching a real harvest. So I'm getting what y'all could see before anyone else could see. Well, that is all now beginning to produce a result in the physical world. So I'm getting this person broke a family structure, and then they left all that suppressed energy with nowhere for it to go. And that energy began bubbling to the surface. But this person did not understand the strength of the collective that they were dealing with here, because the collective knew how to survive the long game. Y'all released control. Y'all allowed this situation to unfold. And now the vision held, that is coming to its natural harvest. And this leads us directly into this wisdom reversed, because with wisdom reversed, I'm getting this other person is not learning from what happened with the collective. I'm getting that their inner knowing is clouded. Their perception is distorted, and instead of going inward and correcting the pattern that broke this first structure with the collective, I'm getting that this person tries instead to start over without changing anything within themselves. And then the tarot, that steps in with the Page of Swords reversed, the Emperor reversed, the Three of Wands reversed, the Five of Cups reversed. This is a lot of reversals. So this Page of Swords reversed, this shows how this other person approaches their new beginning. There are still unanswered questions. There is still information that they are withholding. They are still not speaking their full truth. So even as this person begins to move into something new, they are carrying the same distorted communication style that they were using with the collective with them. And then this Emperor reverse, this shows that the need for control is still very much intact. This person may have changed the relationship. They may have changed the environment even. They may have told themselves that they were building a brand new life. But the controlling, rigid, and distorted energy underneath this person, that never changed at all. And that really does bring us directly back to this wisdom reverse, because this person did not use the first collapse as an opportunity to gain wisdom. No. They did not ask themselves what they contributed. They did not ask what they needed to heal. They did not ask why the pattern formed in the first place. What they did is they simply carried the pattern forward with them. Because then the Three of Wands reverse comes in to confirm that no real expansion has taken place here. Because this other person, they are still thinking small. They are still operating from the same limited perspective. They have tried to create a different future without doing any real internal work that would be required to become somebody capable of creating a different future. Then we land in the Five of Cups reverse. And this card is about healing, accepting change. It's about forgiveness, letting go, and moving forward. But I'm getting that because this is coming under wisdom reversed, this energy feels more like the narrative this other person is trying to establish than the actual truth of what has happened here. This other person says that they have healed. They say they have moved forward. They say they have accepted what happened and that they have started completely over. But saying those things, well, that does not mean the work was actually or really done, does it? So basically, this second column is showing me what this person built after the collective. They attempted to create a new long-term structure, but they built it from the same distorted foundation. This person changed the circumstances, but frankly, they did not change the pattern. And that moves us to synchronicity reverse. Now, I want you to remember what this oracle card says. This synchronicity reverse card, it says that the signs are there. It says that the guidance is there. And it says that the universe is trying to redirect this other person altogether. But this other person I'm getting, they are not heeding the call. Because instead they continue moving in the same exact direction. Well, the same direction they have always moved in. Because we get the tarot, and we've got the Hermit reverse, the Knight of Coins, the Tower, and the Seven of Coins. So the Hermit shows this person withdrawing into themselves. But I'm going to say here, this is not healthy introspection. This is isolation. This is fear. This is becoming so consumed by their own perspective that they cannot recognize what the universe is placing directly in front of them. Because I'm getting the guidance keeps showing up. But their pattern, that keeps repeating. And instead of asking, what am I supposed to learn from this? This other person continues convincing themselves that they are right. And that leads us to the Knight of Coins. So this is someone who is committed to their long game. This person continues investing. They continue planting their seeds. They continue building the life they believe is going to last. But I'm getting here that because they never gained the wisdom that was coming reversed in column 2, this person has been planting into the exact same distorted foundation. So while this person believes they are building something new, they are actually rebuilding the same pattern. And that is exactly why this synchrony reverse card is even here to begin with, because I'm getting that the universe keeps placing sign after sign after sign in front of this person. And the universe is telling them, this is a pattern. This is where y'all need to change. The universe is telling them, don't build on this foundation again. But this other person, they continue to dismiss every opportunity to course correct themselves. I'm getting that they are rolling it until the wheels fall off. And eventually, what I'm getting with this tower, the wheels do fall off. This is the reckoning, a reckoning, and it doesn't happen because the universe suddenly decided to intervene. No. This reckoning happens because every opportunity to redirect this other person was ignored. So the tower becomes the natural consequence of refusing to heed the call. The distortion that destroyed the first cycle over here, that becomes the consequence of refusing to learn a lesson. And now the structure that destroyed the first structure is now followed into a second structure. And I'm getting that what this other person once believed would become their structure and their future, that begins collapsing under the weight of the same unresolved pattern. Because then we arrive at the 7 of coins. And this card, this is the harvest. This is the moment where this other person has to stand back and look at everything they have invested in. And what they're forced to recognize is that changing the people, changing the environment, changing the external structure, that never changed the harvest, because this other person, they never changed the seed. So the same distortion has been being planted over and over again. And because of that, the same pattern has grown. And that's what synchronicity reverse has been really trying to show us this entire time, because I'm getting the universe wasn't trying to punish this other person. The universe was trying to interrupt the cycle they were in before they built another life on the same broken foundation. And that moves us into this authenticity. And this oracle card, well, this one says that living your truth, that strengthens your energy. So I'm getting here, authenticity attracts what aligns with us. Express yourself fully and without fear. So yes, the collective, y'all Y'all are standing firmly in y'all's authenticity now. And I'm getting, because of that, the fear has been eliminated. Y'all are no longer afraid to share y'all's experience. Y'all are no longer carrying shame around what happened with this other person. And y'all are no longer concerned with protecting their image by remaining silent. No. And then the tarot drives the message home. We have the King of Swords, the Star reversed, the Nine of Coins reversed, and we have the Moon. So with this King of Swords, whatever the collective decided to share with the field, that came out and it was clear. What y'all shared was truthful and it was precise. And I'm getting that what it is that y'all shared, it was heard. Because the collective, y'all are not speaking from emotional chaos. Y'all are speaking from a place of wisdom and discernment. Y'all know exactly what happened. Y'all understand the pattern. And y'all are no longer allowing anyone to distort their account of the experience. But then the energy shifts to the Star reverse. So this is a lack of inspiration or faith. This card conveys hopelessness, negativity, boredom. It conveys despair. And what I'm getting here is that the narrative, the collective was able to change by speaking out. That has been present for a while now. It's been present long enough for both the collective and this other person to become weary. I'm getting the collective is beginning to lose the inspiration to remain fixated on this person and their trajectory, because the collective has told the truth. Y'all have held your position. Y'all have allowed the situation to unfold, and now y'all's attention is beginning to move away, which is exactly what it should be doing. And at the same exact time, because your attention is moving away, this other person is becoming bored. I'm getting the structures they created after the collective. All of them have collapsed. We saw that with the tower. So this other person no longer has the distractions or the external lights they were using to avoid and distract themselves. And now I'm getting this other person has nowhere to turn. So this is not only boredom. Now this person, they are falling into despair. And I'm getting the collective is losing interest in continuing to watch their story altogether, while this other person is being left alone inside the consequences of what they have created. Because then we move into the Nine of Coins reverse, and I'm getting that this person cannot simply return to the collective now. Nope. The collective is turned onto this other person's game. Y'all are aware and y'all understand the pattern, and y'all are not backing down from what y'all know. Y'all are standing firmly in y'all's position, and y'all have no intention of wavering just because this other person's other structures have fallen apart. because the collective knows their worth now. They are not going to undervalue themselves by becoming a place for this person to retreat simply because they have run out of other options. I'm getting the collective, y'all continue to act as strength here. The gentle persuasion that's moving this entire situation towards its conclusion. That's what this is. Y'all do not have to chase this ending anymore. And y'all do not have to force accountability. Because y'all's refusal to move out of your authentic position, that continues applying pressure on this situation all by itself. And then the message ends with this moon. And this card is the subconscious. This is about blocked intuition, misconception. This is uncertainty. This is deception. This is ambiguity. This is instability. And this is anxiety. And most importantly, this is illusion. And what I'm getting here is that this situation is approaching a climax point. I'm getting that there is more illusion surrounding this person than the collective has even been made aware of. And because this other person has become a creature of habit, and because patterns do not remain exactly the same over time, no. Over time, patterns evolve. Over time, patterns become more sophisticated. They find new ways to express themselves. And the direction this other person's pattern has evolved in, I'm getting that is filled with deception. And that very deception, well, that is leading this person towards their destiny here. But with this moon card, I also have to say, there is still missing information. Because what I'm getting here is that the final ending is being veiled from the collective at this time. And what I'm getting is that the collective is not intended to know everything right at this moment. Maybe this moon is protection. Maybe withholding the full ending is the universe's way of protecting the collective's energy fields. Because I'm getting knowing too much would pull the collective's focus back towards the situation that they are finally losing the inspiration to remain attached to. And that is a key component here. Because the collective, y'all have already done your part. Y'all stood in the truth. Y'all shared your experience. Y'all held your position. And then y'all refused to back down. But I'm getting here that there are still pieces moving beneath the surface that y'all cannot see right now. So regardless of what the collective already knows, this situation it does have more to reveal. And whatever it's about to reveal, that is still being unveiled at this moment. So I don't know, y'all. What I love right now about this message is that it isn't really about this other person's downfall. No. what it's about is the difference between repeating a pattern and transforming a pattern. Because one person kept changing the people around them while carrying the same distortion. But the collective, I'm getting the most that y'all changed yourselves. Y'all surrendered the control. Y'all allowed the truth to reveal itself. You let the signs be seen. And then the collective began standing fully and authentically in what they know. And because of all that, the harvest each side of this situation is approaching, it looks completely different for each one of these people. Because I'm getting one harvest is exposing the consequences of a pattern that was never healed, while the other harvest is revealing what becomes possible when you stop forcing outcomes and allow your truth to stand on its own. Because that is what authenticity does. It does not require y'all to convince anyone. No. It does not require y'all to chase anyone. No. And it does not require y'all to control the ending. No. But what it does is it allows the truth to mature until, quite simply, until the truth can no longer be denied. So yes, the collective, y'all have survived the long game here. Y'all have spoken, and y'all have been heard. And now y'all are being released from the need to maintain fixated on how this person's story plays out and ends. Because what I'm getting is that even though the final outcome is still being veiled from y'all, the harvest, that's already beginning. And that's the message that I have for y'all today. So if this one landed, then like my message. If you made it to the end, then leave me a comment and let me know. And make sure you guys are following along. And remember, where there is love, there is light. I'll see y'all again real soon.